All right. Okay. I think today I'm going to go off of one of my offspring's suggestion and play something different. This is Unbroken. I've had this for, several years at this point. And I only played it a handful of times, and I've never won. This is a solo game. It is technically a resource management game, but it is themed as a sort of dark fantasy, very grim survival dungeon catacomb crawl, if you will. And the things that happen are abstracted, and the mechanics are very forward. So it's a very procedural game, stuff that I got into, and it's actually kind of why I bought it. Actually kickstarted it a long time ago. And when I played it, it was so brutal that after about 3 or 4 games, I decided it was just too hard. Now, I was playing on normal difficulty, the way that the game is balanced around, and I wasn't really concerned about what easy mode was. But I'm going to be playing on easy mode today. Mostly because I want to enjoy the game, but it's more about because I haven't played in a while. I haven't played in probably about 4 years, 4 or 5 years now. So what we're going to do here is we are going to slightly modify the starting scenario a bit by reading this and applying it to the game. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'll start to break into, well, what this game is about and how it's played, yada, yada, yada. And even how it's played, I had to refresh my mind a little bit and watch, again, some of those YouTube videos that everyone watches to watch, something that's been out for 5 years. So let's do that, shall we? Okay, first things first. Got my cough. That's unfortunate. But this game is awesome. I will attempt to give it justice by playing. So I'm just gonna read the back for context, if you will, for theme, right? The expedition was a disaster. The monsters were waiting for you. Their ambush sudden and violent. Your companions murdered. You were left to die of your injuries. They should have killed you. When they had the chance... Oh, wow. No, never mind. They should have killed you when they had the chance. Now you will gather your strength, you will find your way, craft a weapon from whatever scraps you can find, and you will make them pay. This is a solo game of survival and revenge in a world of dark fantasy. Build up your character, manage scarce resources, and face terrifying monsters as you try to escape the dark. You'll have to be versatile to survive, steel yourself, face the monsters, reclaim your freedom, or die trying. There's a lot in this book. There's a lot in this game here. But I'm going to modify my starting stats real quick. So I'm going to roll this fancy D6. So I'm going to roll a D6 die. And I'm going to increase number 3, which is cunning, by 1. Okay. So we're going to And then as on easy mode, the player takes the first during the battle step. Okay, so it seems to me that we cannot be ambushed, if I'm reading that correctly. We also begin the game with a skill card. With normally, on normal mode, you don't begin with the skill, and you start with 13 effort, and these are the various resources, and I'll explain those in a second. You usually start with 13, but for this game, this is for an easier game, begin with 15. So we're going to begin with 15 small effort, and we're going to pick a skill card. And so that's what we're going to do here. All right, so let me pick a skill. I'm going to shuffle. All right, so let's pick 2 of these, and then I'm going to put these off to the side because we won't need them. And in fact, I'm going to, yeah, I'll keep that right there. That's fine. Oh, I think I want that there. That'll be, yeah, that seems better. Okay, let's pick our skill. So we have a spike thrower. Your studies of the blood drinkers taught you that none of the stories circling through Darwinia, south of the shoals, prepared you for this. Nevertheless, now you're able to prepare spikes with ease, and it never hurts to have a sharp stick close by, especially when the hearts of your enemies are within your reach. So, I could have that, and it looks like during combat, I can spend wood and a small effort to do 2 wounds, or 2 wood and a small effort to do 3 wounds. That's pretty good, considering that you start the game with only your bare hands. Left without a proper weapon, it makes no difference. Your clenched, bruised fists will serve you well. You have everything you need to uncover the mysteries of the dark and exact your revenge. On whom? You'll find out soon enough. And so your bare hands are basically the base weapon that you start the game with. It's just your hands. And to do 1 wound with just your bare hands, you expend 2 small effort. To do 3 wounds, you expend 2 medium effort. But the only way to get through armor is to expend a large effort. So that makes sense. You have to spend a lot of your fistic of energy just to get through some armor. So having a spike thrower and finding some wood so we can do more damage would be amazing, especially since that small effort or the medium effort here does 3 damage. But for 3 damage here, we only need 2 pieces of wood and a fist. So that might be something to think about. Or the other skill would be Berserk. Your descent into madness continues. Driven by vengeance, your foes will regret infuriating you as after you swiftly put an end to their suffering. You start to lose yourself as every swing feeds your bloodlust. These punishing strikes, however, won't be your last. Ooh, yeah, this game is pretty dark. Response. So after a monster's combat roll, so both of these are for combat. Okay. After a monster's combat roll, you may increase the result by 2. Ugh. If you do, the attack power of your next wounding attack is increased by +1. So by that, if I take this, my fisticuffs would become 2, which effectively would replace the wood. It's still not as good as the spike thrower. So I think I'm going to take the spike thrower because I may use that or I may not. So I'm going to put the other skill off to the side. And now I have a skill to start the game with, a 15 small effort. And here we go. Okay, so the gameplay loop is as such. So we have these 2 amazing flowcharts. And if you guys have been following my Kernathalis playthrough, and also know that I like procedures in games, I love flowcharts. And these are actually very, very helpful. They do slow down the gameplay if you go to each one individually. After a while, when you start playing, you will get used to it. So that's what I'm hoping for. But right now we are in the travel phase, and I'm not going to worry too much about combat right now. And on the back of these, they have, in very tiny font though, basically a quick start and the battle step stuff. So I actually might flip this over just to help me remember combat, because again, I haven't played in a while. And I figured 1 or 2 videos and then sit down and press record. It'll be good enough for me. All right, so we are going to start up here at the preparation step, and then we're going to go through various loops. So I'm going to keep these off to the side just so the main focus of the game is the resources and the encounters and the combat. But just know that this stuff is happening off stage right, if you will. Okay, so we are going to start at the preparation step, which we can take any number of general or travel actions as you wish, and after each action, we just double check that the time tracker doesn't reach 0. Oh, speaking of time tracker, this is the time tracker right up here. And it goes all the way up to 31, but we are in the first level of the dark. That's the region that we are playing in. There is a cool map in this book, which I can show you in a second. But we start at level 1 is we start with 7 time, okay? So the beginning of the game, normally you start off with 0 on everything, 15 effort, normally 13, 0 on the other 2 efforts, and we don't know what we're fighting. And this is the monster tracker here, so we don't know what we're fighting, and the time tracker is starts at 7. So just to break down real quick, these are resources. Time is a resource. The effort is a resource, and effort is effectively your vitality, your endurance, your stamina, your health, your capability to swing your fists and to, use those spikes and to utilize your actions, right? So if at any time that you run out of all effort, you dead, you die, your game is over. That happens way more often than winning. I have not won a game, and you win the game by completing not 1, not 2, not 3 levels, but 4 levels. So you're going to be fighting up to 4 monsters in this game, per session, if you get that far. The farthest I got to the 4th level, but I did not survive the exploration phase, and I didn't even see sorry about the cough. I did not see the I got to the 4th level, but did not get to see the 4th monster, if that makes sense. Okay. So I've decided to play as the Hunter. Now there are 4 classes, I guess. There are 4 characters that you can play. And they are as thus. They are the Hunter. There's the Sage. I gotta get it out here real quick. Yep, here we go. There's the Brawler, the Sage, the Sneak, and the Hunter. And they all have various abilities. The cards are double-sided they are actual characters too. They actually have names. So I will read my Hunter's name in a second. And there is even like an achievement card that you can check off when you do things. which I haven't even bothered to look at this really, just because I'm so bad at the game. So that being said, let's continue on. So my hunter, and when you begin the game, you start off with the ability to use your hunter abilities once. So I get to choose one of these, and then when you use your resource, so I have one resource to spend on one of these 3 abilities. And my hunter, no past to speak of, no memory of your life before the dark. You push on because that's all you can focus on. One thing you know for sure, no one touches the hat. And the other side, the huntress, is Carillia Elcaire, living off the land, taking only what you need when you need it. Your skills are perfectly attuned for escaping these treacherous catacombs. Luckily, your sharp memory and tracking skills serve you well so far. So they are distinct different characters, but mechanically they don't do anything outside of being, the other side of the same card. So I have Scavenge, which is a travel action, which I can do while I am traveling. And I can spend 2 effort to gain 1 food. And food is important because you need to consume food after each combat. And you need to consume the number of food equal to the level, I think. So on level 1, you need to consume 1 food, level 2, 2, and so on. Lay of the Land is another travel action. Look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. So I get to basically... it's sort of a way to scout ahead, that kind of thing. So I don't get to reorder them. I don't get to... I just know what's coming up so I can plan. And then there's also Subsist. It's a response at the beginning of the hunger step. I can reduce my requirement by 1. So I could, in theory, save this until the very end of the level, and then spend this as a response to subsist. And so therefore I would only need 1 hunger, or I can reduce my requirement by 1, which at level 1 means that I don't necessarily need food if I'm the hunter at level 1. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's get going. So now I can do some various actions. I could focus, spend 4 small effort to gain 1 medium effort. The other thing I could do is spend 4 small effort to gain a cunning, which I already have. I could craft a weapon, which means that on your bare hands card, which is a weapon, you could upgrade to the club or upgrade to the knife. Now, since I have the spike thrower, I'm going to want to find wood because of this. So I think I'm going to upgrade to the knife if I want to go that route. So I would need a knife and a medium effort to upgrade to the knife. And it would take 2 time. So that's the thing about this. Like, a lot of the things that you do in this game take time to do. So that would be crafting. And then during the travel action, I can orienteer, which is reveal 2 additional cards during exploration. And that takes 1 small effort. So kind of like the Lay of the Land, which is you use once, and I would spend my 1 resource to look at the top 5. Lay of the Land is something that is available from the get-go to anybody, not just the hunter, and I can spend just one effort, and I can look at the top 2. And the thing about the top 2 is that that's how encounters work. Every time that you go into the exploration step, you reveal 2, and then you pick 1. So the fact that you reveal is like kind of planning ahead and making you think about what you want to do instead of you going in completely blind. Now, the way I'm playing today is I'm not going to try to win. I'm not going to try to min-max. I just want to experience the game again because it's been a while. Okay, so, and then the other thing you can do is that depending on the level that you are on, it takes some different resources to scout to reveal the monster that you will be fighting at the end of the level. Now, there are pros and cons to doing that. The pros is obviously you'll get to know the monster, and then you'll get to see all of its things that it can do and what effects it might have, either on ambush or on its various combat abilities. And the con of that is that it takes resources to do that. On the first level, it takes one small effort. So I would go from 15 to 14, and then one time so I can scout. So that would be something I could do right away. Or that's actually just during travel action. So I could do any of these actions right now on the preparation step, and that's all that we're doing here. Because I started out with more effort on easy mode and a skill, I sort of want to, so I don't want to make any more cunning. Right, I want to explain what these resources are. I almost forgot. This top one that's a fox. That's actually that's the icon for Ultima Games, the designer of the game, not to be confused with the publisher, whom I won't speak of. The fox is cunning. The knife is metal. The log is wood. The drumstick is food. And the goblet is treasure. And the shield over here is, armor, and the heart is health. These are for the monster stuff. And the hourglass, it's right here, is the time tracker. So these are all the resources, and I think what I want to do is I actually do want to scout. I like knowing what the end boss of each level is going to be. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to expend one effort and one time, and I'm going to reveal the monster. Okay. So let's see what monster that we're going to fight. So I rolled a 1. So I'm going to pick up the level 1 monsters, and down on the bottom here, there's a lot of information, but down on the bottom, there are these hash marks, and it tells you that's the number corresponding to this. So we're going to match this. So we're going to be fighting the giant spider. I fought this thing. That thing killed me one time. All right. So the giant spider is what we're going to be fighting. It has 3 health to start. If it ambushes us, and a monster can ambush us if we ever run out of time. If we ever go to 0, then we immediately go to combat, and then they get to do their ambush. So if they ambush, they takes 2 turns at the beginning of the battle step. Now, we are on easy. Now, I would say that on easy, that technically overrides ambush, which again, I see why that's easy, because if there's no risk of going to 0, then you can always spend going to 0. But this guy says giant ambush takes 2 turns at the beginning of the battle step. So that basically, I might even just rule that because of how the easy mode works, I'll say that this only has 1 turn. the beginning of the battle step. So it will ambush us, actually. So the giant spider can actually ambush us. The giant spider's name, by the way, is Ansheb. That's one thing you'll notice about the game too, is that the art is just really cool. Ansheb, tap tap tap. Is something crawling down your back? You sense you are not alone in these tunnels. Then you hear what sounds like metal scraping along the walls. And so this was our scouting mission, right? So we scouted ahead and we found what we were going to be fighting at the end of this area. And we were like, we're not ready. So that's what that is. The other thing that we could do is there's a trickery thing on most of these monsters. And that's something to just straight up avoid the fight. Now, sometimes you want to do that because you might die and you want to get to the next level and maybe get more treasure. Because again, this game is all about high score with how much treasure you end up with and stuff like that. Because the game always ends when you reach 0 effort. So you will die eventually. And the only way to win is to kill and then survive the aftermath of the 4th monster on level 4. I've never gotten that far. So, but you can skip a monster if you want to. But remember, you're going to miss out on it. When you win, you get all the rewards. So for the giant spider, I know I'm going to get basically, it looks like, wow, food, wood, small effort, and medium effort. And 1 time, and a skill. So I definitely want to fight this thing. It also has a response. At the beginning of the battle step, immediately gain poison. Oh, remember poison, guys. Remember I was poisoned in Kernathalis? That was so much fun. All right. But poisoned in Unbroken is drop by drop. The poison courses through your blood. You feel as if your veins are on fire. You pray for an antidote, but deep down you know there's no escaping the dark. Okay, so it looks like there's a lot going on with poisoned. So basically at the beginning of the battle step, immediately gain the poisoned. So, oh, yuck. So, poison condition. All right, so we will have to place additional tokens on here. Before taking your turn in combat, lose effort equal to the number of tokens. Ouch. So basically, I'm just going to lose my health, my effort over time. This card enters play with the number of tokens indicated in the brackets on the monster sheet. Got it. Okay, so that's is going to be poison 1. So poison is going to be part and parcel to this guy. This is a cool little bag that came with the game. I'm going to use this, like this, poison 1, and I'm going to put those guys over there. Okay, so we could, and then these are all the combat actions, which I can go over during combat. It also has 3 health, which I also like to use. So we know that it has 3 health and has no armor. So that's the health tracker right there. Okay. What else do we want to do? Do we want to use our hunter abilities or anything? Nah, we're okay. All right. So I could upgrade to a knife because it has 3 health. And I've done the math. So to do 3 damage, I need 1 effort and 2 wood. So I kind of want to find wood. Like that's the main focus for this particular section of the catacombs for our hunter. So let us go into now the decision step. Are you going to fight the monster now? No, we're definitely not ready. I don't think with just my bare hands I could beat this thing. So I'm going to go to the exploration step, which is one of my favorite parts of any game is this. So I'm going to reveal 2 of these. So we have juicy bats or a chance to rest. Oh, interesting. So I could spend 2 time to gain 3 small effort, but I would go down to 4. Or spend 1 time, which I can't do. So at any point, if you don't want to do these things or cannot do, like this one, I can't even spend this. That would have been amazing if I had this, but I don't. So the only one I could do is this. I don't have to spend anything but time, but I gained 3. But it's funny because normally what you do in a situation like this is that say that I did not want to do this encounter, right? During this exploration step. What I would do is I would go down the time that I would be doing. So I'd go down 2, and then I would gain the number of effort equal to the time spent. 1, 2. But this card is actually giving me a better deal than the basic opportunity. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to gain, I'm at 17 effort, which is wild. So we found a chance to rest. You cannot go any longer. You take the time to stop and catch your breath before you collapse, remembering the somber face of your fallen expedition member. So this is probably somebody that fell in the prologue of the battle. Okay, so after that, we rested. No, sorry, we did the encounter, right? And no, so this is what I'm saying about this little thing. I'm down here, and we lose time, and did the time reach 0? No. So we go back to the preparation step. So we don't really need this after a while. You just kind of do the loop over and over and over again. So we're back to the preparation step. I still want to find wood. So doing this, these are going to be the most important thing. I think I'm going to, because I have so much effort, I really want to find wood, like really badly. But I could upgrade. So what I think I'm going to do, and I don't have any metal either. So I think I'm going to spend 1 effort to orienteer, reveal 2 additional cards during exploration. So we're going to reveal 2 normally, but I spent the extra effort to reveal 2 more. So hopefully we're going to choose one of these. Hopefully we find some wood, or we find some food, or just something that's more useful, but we're only going to choose one of these. Okay, slimy yet nourishing, 2 time to get 1 food. That's pretty brutal. That's not great. Spend an effort and 1 time to gain 1 of these. That's really good, actually. That's the forbidden room. And then solace and warmth. We have no wood, so we can't do that. Oh, that's really cool. Solace and warmth, meaning you spend... Oh, that's really cool. And then, or a time... Okay, so we could spend it 1 time, which I like better. Okay, I like these as my options here. I would have loved to gain wood, but I like gaining food, but we technically don't need to use it right now. The edible tree. The dimmed yet still glowing branches light a path to aid you on your journey. The source seems to stem from the flowing rivers of the dark you saw from above. Its roots lead you to food you desperately need, easy enough to pry using only some of your strength. Or the forbidden room. A blocked room, a door with no handles, and an entrance with no way in. You know you shouldn't be there, but an untapped energy inside of you stirs. There's only one way to get through that door. Brute force. A calling from deeper in the dark summons you, and it makes you stronger. So, I kind of like that idea because I technically am okay without food for this one encounter. So I'm going to spend one time and spend one effort to gain one medium effort. So that's great. Now we're still back to our normal effort. So we're looking good with that. Our time is going down though. And that's the thing about doing the encounters. The exploration phase it takes a lot of time to do stuff. I almost want to... I still can't upgrade my cards because I can't do any of that. I almost want to orienteer again just to help with that. And I think I am going to do that because I had so much starting effort and I gained effort. So I am going to do that to reveal 2 extra cards during our next session here. Do I want to do anything else? Do I want to... I've already scouted, and I can't do anything about that. I can't upgrade my weapons, and I don't want to utilize this because I want to make sure I can survive. All right, so 1, 4, yikes. So if we do this one, we will get ambushed. But that's weird because if we get ambushed, they'll take 1 turn. We'll get poisoned because remember they're only taking 1 turn because we're on easy mode. Yeah, if we do this, we only go down to 13, but we gain 3 wood, and we can immediately kill them. Oh, and gain this stuff back. Okay. You know, I almost want to do that one and force the fight. But we also have... Ooh, interesting. Or we spend 2 time to gain 2 of the medium efforts. And that way we would go up to 3 medium efforts and spend 1 cunning. And then we would only have 1 time left. Okay, I like that. We have no treasure, so we cannot bribe the whelps. Or, ooh, interesting. We can spend 2 time, again, and cunning to gain a treasure and only 1 of these. And we're getting a treasure. No, we're not getting a treasure here. So you know what, though? Because, this is difficult. The trapped shrine or the dark places. I think I like one of those better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Hi, Miles. I'm going to choose... I'm going to spend cunning on... Do I want treasure or do I want an extra medium effort? Which one do I want, Miles? I want... So I'm going to spend cunning, which I have 1 cunning, and I could gain 2 medium efforts, or I can gain a medium effort, only 1, but also 1 treasure. And treasure is basically the end game scoring type of thing, for the game. It's kind of and they both take 2, so it's like I could go into the fight knowing I'm going to hit hard for sure. But also or go out of the game knowing I'm going to get at least some treasure. What do you think? What would your vote be?
I mean, guaranteed treasure sounds nice.
Guaranteed treasure. Okay, so all right, I'm going to do that then. So the trapped shrine. Thank you very much.
Yep. Good night, bye-bye.
Oh, good night. Love you.
Hello.
Trapped shrine. Examining the shrine of uncaring gods, you notice a mysterious light underneath the candles and religious offering. that past adventurers once offered to the solemn witch mother. Ooh, I like that. Let's see. What do I want to... Yeah, so I'm going to spend 2, spend my cunning, and gain 1 treasure and 1 medium effort. Okay, I feel good. So, here's the thing. If we don't... Okay. Battle step. So, we are going to be... we are going to start losing effort the minute we start fighting this thing. That's why I don't want to get ambushed. Because if we get ambushed, we will lose more effort overall. So I think instead of... I can't spend... some of these things don't take any time. And in theory, I could choose to do the orienteer. What do you think? I could use the orienteer to increase the odds of finding one of these encounters that don't cost any time. But most of them cost time. So, I don't want to roll the dice, so to speak, or test the fates. So I'm going to say that we're going to skip ahead and say we are ready to go into the fight. So now we're going to go into 1B, the trickery step. Reveal the monster, if not yet reveal, which it is. Reset the time. Okay, will you trick the monster? So we're going to reset it to the number 2 for the next level. And this will only matter once we get down there. Are we going to trick the monster? If we wanted to, we would have to pay the trickery cost, which for this guy is cunning, and we already used the cunning, so we're not going to trick the monster because we want to fight it. So, no, you and the monster, we're going to go into the battle step. You and the monster take turns in combat, make attacks, and take actions to defeat the monster, and then it asks, were you able to win? Okay, so next up, let us move into the battle stage. So before anything happens, at the beginning of the battle step, immediately gain poison 1. So now we are poisoned. 100% we are poisoned. We're coming into this without any ability to do the spike thrower. So I'm just going to put this right there to remind me. So, and it's our turn, but before your turn in combat, lose effort equal to the number of tokens. So we're going to lose 1 effort. And we're also going to... How do we want to do... We could just do 3 damage right away because it is at 3 health and we have 2 medium efforts. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 1 and 2. And so I spent 2. I'm going to punch the giant spider really hard with both of my fists in a medium effort attempt, and I do 3 damage, and it dies. So, I'm going to say, did we win? Yes, we did. We spent all of our things, and reward step. Receive the listed reward, including a new skill card. Oh, interesting. Including a new draw 2, keep 1. Okay. So does this mean that we draw 2, keep 1, and then draw 2, keep 1? I'm going to look at the monsters' things. I think they all have skill. Oh, no, they don't all have skills. No. Okay. Well, skills. Oh, yes, they do. Okay. Including a new skill card. Okay. Oh, I see. This is just the rewards, and then this reminder is just saying the skill card. So we're just going to get 1 skill. Got it. Okay, so we immediately get the reward, which is a food, a wood, which is great, an effort. That's cool. the one that we lost, a medium effort, which is cool, and a time. So we're going to start at the next level at 14 instead of 13. Okay. And then we gain a skill. So we're going to take our skills. I'm going to reshuffle. And we are going to lose. Yep. Yeah. So the condition is no longer part of our thing. All right. So let's draw 2 and keep 1. 2. Put my skills over there. Improved armor and shadow. Let's look at what shadow does. Ignore all worn effects in combat. Interesting. And ignore all time costs of the scout general action. Oh, wow. And what the... Whoa. After taking the scout action, gain an effort. Oh, wow. I like that. Ignore all time costs. So I would only have to spend 2 effort to reveal this monster. Because for the shadow, so in a level 2, it would cost 2 effort and 2 time just to reveal the monster. But with shadow, I would ignore the 2 time and only spend 2 effort. And because I did that, I would then gain. So it effectively is only going to cost me 1. I'm going to take shadow, but let's see what improved armor is. So this is another combat one. Oh, interesting. After a monster's combat roll results in a wound or daze effect, spend a wood or knife or metal to ignore that effect. I have a wood, so I could do that, but I'm gonna keep shadow. That's really good. I think I need a better way. I think I'm gonna put my skills up here and my action guides right there. I think that makes more sense to me. And now we did the reward step. Now we're going to go to the hunger step. You may spend effort equal to the current level. Oh, I see. So for every food you eat, gain 1 effort. Lose 1 effort for every first food you lack, and then 2. So equal to the level. So we are 1. So we are going to... I could spend this, and I am going to spend this. And... I see. I'm going to have to read up a rule real quick. So I'm going to spend this so I can reduce the first effect of the food. Reduce the hunger step requirement, but I'm still going to gain an effort because of the hunger step. For every food you eat, gain 1, lose 1 for every 1 you lack. Okay, so we're not actually gaining any effort because we didn't eat the food. Okay, I see. We're still alive. Was monster once... No, okay. Advance to the next level. Fill the character ability bar up to the current level. So we do fill it back up. I do not need to read the rules. It explained it to me. And then I need to put the second bar on there. And discard any active condition cards. Okay, that's when we discard our conditions. And then go to the next level and then go to preparation step. Okay, so we beat the giant spider. So I'm going to just put this upside down like this. And then I'm going to go through and take out the level 2 monsters and put them right there. Or rather, I will take them when we scout or have to reveal them. So, preparation step. And that was a bit of shenanigery, if you will. I'm really happy that that was as smooth as it did. The last time I fought the giant spider, I think what happened? Oh, right. I was ambushed because I miscalculated the time tracker. And because I was poisoned, I think I was fairly low. I think I was at 3. And then I went to 2. And then I went to 1 on my turn. And then I had no effort to do any of my attacks. That's what it was. So I couldn't finish him off. Like, that's the thing. All right. So we have 1 medium effort, 14 small effort, which is amazing still. 1 each of a wood, food, and treasure. And we have 13 time. And the monster was killed in level 1. All right. What do we want to do? So passive, we ignore and we ignore. So we're actually going to do this first. I know that's what we want to do. I think we're going to scout. So we're going to spend only, because of our shadow ability, only 2 effort to reveal a 3. So we're going to reveal 2, 4, 3. We reveal a crazed survivor. That is what we are fighting here. Okay, crazed survivor. It has 4 health, so let's move and no armor. The name of the survivor is Herc. Ambush, gain the crippled condition for level 3. So if we get ambushed for the entirety of level 3, we would be, crippled? Crippled. After advancing the time tracker during the exploration step, advance it 1 additional slot. I see. Okay. All right, so this is interesting. So basically, takes more time to do things. That's funny. So I'm going to keep that right there to remind me. Oh, pardon me. Okay. So, and trickery, we have to downgrade a weapon. So basically give him a weapon, because the weapons, when you upgrade them, technically you're gaining, you're basically making one. So we have a basic knife, which if we give him that, we would just have our bare hands. But then if we upgraded the knife into a sword, we would have the sword, but then we would give him a sword, but then just have the knife. So that's how the downgrade would be. So we don't want to be ambushed. And we don't really want to skip this fight. We do get a basic weapon at the end of this. So ideally, it would be great to beat him with just our bare hands and our spike thrower stuff. Actually, that would be great. So, the moment you lock eyes... Okay, so we don't lock eyes yet because we haven't seen him yet. We are scouting. If you have a basic weapon at the beginning of the battle step, downgrade it. Ew. Then Crazed Survivor attacks once and gains 1 to all combat rolls. So we're not going to do that. So I think we're not going to upgrade. We don't have a basic weapon, but we do have spike thrower ability. So that's kind of cool, or skill rather. All right, let's go level 2, folks. Okay, so we're at 12 effort, and we have 2 of these now. So I would have to spend 2 food, and so I would have to use one of these if I don't find any more food. Let's see. I could spend 2 time or 2 effort to gain food, and that doesn't decrease my time tracker. So that's interesting. Okay, so let's go for the first exploration. Let's just do one. Yeah, let's just do the first one normally. Ooh, okay. 2 time, and we would have to decrease our time by 2 and give up our 1 treasure to gain 2 metal. Now, we don't want to upgrade our weapons right now, so I don't really want to do this. This is a greedy goblin. Or starving goblins. Interesting. Spend a food to gain 2 cunning. You know what? Because we can make food because we're the hunter, I might do that. I think I am going to do that. So this might kill me, but having 2 cunning down the road might help us. So I'm going to spend the 2 time, and as the starving goblins call out in pain, you toss the green skins only a single morsel to wrestle over. Whoever said mercy is for the weak never benefited from it as much as you. So we encountered some starving goblins down in the dark. All right, what's next? Do we do it again? I think so. I don't need to utilize the scavenge travel action just yet. So let's continue on. Do I want to spend 1? I think I do want to spend Orienteer. So I'm going to just spend 1 effort to gain 2 more to get a choice. Okay, Chained Legacy. For 1, you just gain 2 effort. So, interesting. So 1 time, 2 effort. Back up to 13. I don't like that at all, because we just spent, 0 time. Oh, so this is chasing rodents. This is effectively is the hunter's ability, but we wouldn't have to use it. And we do have quite a bit of effort. So just to do some math real quick, and again, this is a resource game, themed very heavily as a dark fantasy game. So, but math time. The crazed survivor has 4 health, no armor, thankfully. And with our bare hands, if we have 2 of these guys, we can do 3. So we need 2 of these guys and 2 of the normal. So we we want more, but, oh yeah, so gaining food. We're going to need food at least once. See, let's maybe do that one. 5 time, gain 2 of these. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yikes. Misguided dreams. Yeah, misguided dreams for sure. Look at that art, though. That is unsettling, but amazing. That is so cool. Oh. I didn't realize that my stuff was like off the camera. Oh well. Sorry about that. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's tempting because I can immediately do... So to get time, so I could spend 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to gain another one, which we don't want to do that. This is just 5 time to gain 2 of them. I kind of like that too. Spend the time to gain food and, So this is kind of like, do we want more time doing stuff, right? To gain 2? Or to gain 1, or spend time and only 1 thing to get. You know what? These are all interesting. Oh, wow. That's 1 time. Old cartographer's map. Chain legacy. You know, these are interesting. I almost want to take this to guarantee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To guarantee that we can do 3 damage, take a hit, hopefully, and then do 2 damage. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we did misguided dreams. Nightmares, so real the sights and sounds stick to you like a memory, plague you while you sleep. Despite the vivid dreams of unknown monsters, you wake up with renewed strength. Okay, interesting. All right. So that was an interesting round, an interesting choice by me. I think I am going to spend. You know what? Because we did all that, I'm going to spend 1 to do this thing to gain more. But do I want to do any of these? We're not upgrading. We just orienteering. We did the scouting. We're good with that. We don't really need the large effort to break through armor, thankfully. So we only need these. So as long as I have 2, and then that, yeah. So let's just look at the next 4. Okay. Ooh. Ghostly Adventure. We can spend a cunning and 3 time. 1, 2, 3. Get down to 3 to gain metal, wood, and treasure. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot, honestly. Okay. And so I actually like that one a bunch. Spearfishing, spending, okay, well, we can't do that one. So the only thing that we could do if we chose this is 2 time and gain 2 effort. That's it. Which I don't really like. Slithering Snake, spend a cunning to gain 2 food. I like that option. Or another one to spend metal, so we can't really do that either. So we have the option of, I'm so happy I got those 2 cunnings, because we can either gain 2 food, or I think I'm going to do, oh, yes, because I'll outright be able to spend less, and we're going to get 1 food anyway before the hunger stage. And so I can utilize that. So I don't need to get food right now. So I'm going to Ghostly Adventure. Careful and quiet, you trail behind the light of a watchful spirit in her garden. Sneaking past her, you come across a shallow pool with rare resources you reach out to claim as your own. Awesome. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to spend 1 cunning, gain 1 metal, 1 wood, and 1 treasure. And again, treasure is the end game scoring. That's cool. Okay. That being said, I think I'm going to spend... Yeah. I think I'm going to spend 2 and take off 1 of my character's things there to gain 1 food, just so I can make sure that I can, I don't necessarily have to subsist. So if I don't use this, I can spend it again to gain more food. All right. I think with this, I'm going to do 1 more. I'm going to do 1 more. So I think I'm just going to do a normal choose. I think I'm going to, hopefully these are cheaper than 3 each. If not, we're going to be ambushed, which is going to suck. 4 and 2. Woo! Well, I don't want to do this one. Yeah, I don't want to do this one, and besides, it doesn't really do anything for us. So, Bear Trap. Oh, spend 2 to gain 2 metal. Well, here's the thing. We're going to gain a basic weapon after this fight. And the weapons that are available, the basic weapons, are a knife and a club. Now, to upgrade the club, it takes a lot of wood, which we already have the spike thrower. So I think we're going to go with the knife as our thing if we win, right? If we win, we would get the knife for free. And to upgrade it, we would need a bunch of metal. And I think that's what we're going to do. So I think I am going to spend our last cunning and 2 time, and to gain 2 metal. So now we're at 3 metal, which is amazing. You are not so easily fooled by the trap. You are crafty enough. You could even take it apart. The smell of fresh blood fills your nostrils. Something must be cooking over that nearby fire. Carefully try to pry some of the sharp metal if you dare, quietly. So, looks like we found an area that has a bear trap intended for their next meal, but instead we spent our cunning. We spent a cunning opportunity, rather, to get it. I know my thing is over with. So what I'm gonna do here is, because we're at 1, what do you call this thing? Time. 1 time. We're not gonna do anything else except. We're going to, yes, I think what we're going to do is, so, yes, I think we're going to spend 2 and use our last hunter ability to gain 1 food. So, because we're on level 2, we would spend 2 food to gain 2 effort back at the end, but not lose any effort. So that's the whole idea there. So we're going to go into combat on our own. And now we are going to, we're not getting ambushed, so we're not going to be crippled, thank God. And then we're not going to trickery it because we can't give them our weapon. And we don't have a basic weapon, so its response isn't going to do anything. Okay. Then downgrade it, then increase attacker, then increase it attacks once and gains +1 to all combat rolls. Okay. So, the moment you lock eyes with his feral gaze, you realize that whatever humanity remained inside this tortured soul is long gone. His primitive nature might hint at some dark corruption driving him mad. Unarmed and uttering nonsensical words at you, he lunges for your weapon. Okay, so he does actually attack once. So, because he's a crazed survivor. And that's why the ambush, we would get crippled, because thematically, if he always is going to attack first, but we're on easy mode. See, you know what? See, I'm going to modify. I'm not going to do that part of the easy mode, just the resources part. That part of easy mode makes the combat, all these abilities that these monsters have kind of not moot, but like you don't need them. So I'm going to keep that. So he's going to roll. So we're going to see a combat roll from a monster. I rolled a 3. So 3 is a wound. Lose 2 effort. 1, 2. Yikes. So we lose 1. So we lose 2 effort. So we reset this for 3. Okay. And now it's our turn. Now, he's at 4. There's no way we can do 4 damage, unfortunately. So, we have a couple ways to do it. We could spend 2 of our medium effort to do 3 damage. Or, we're going to be hitting him twice anyway. So, I think I'm going to reserve this. And I'm going to spend 1 wood and 1 effort to do 2 wounds. So he's at 2. Now he gets to go again. 3 again, so we lose 2 more. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm at 1 effort, which kind of sucks, but I do have medium effort. But here's the thing. You do die when you reach 0 effort on all of these 3 tracks. Normal, or effort, medium effort, and large effort. And you can always use larger amounts of effort to do smaller things. So that was a pretty brutal hit, but that's how it is. Now, I am going to spend... Oh, see, it's kind of silly now. I'm going to spend the 1 effort and 1 wood to do 2 wounds, so it dies. Boof. Okay, so it's dead. I'm still alive because I have medium effort still. So we won. Now let's rewards list. We gain 1 food, and we gain 3 effort back. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And after taking the scout general action, gain 1 skill. Did I do this? I don't remember, but for the sakes of the video, I can't remember, so it's not really a big deal. And then we gain a skill. So let's gain a skill here. Let's roll, and we will complete the end of this level soon here. Let me roll up. No. No. That's what I get for rushing things. Should always slow down sometimes. I tend to rush things, especially when I get excited, or if I know I'm feeling rushed, even though this is my time. But anyway, let's just roll. Let's pick 2 of those cards. Inventive. Your planning general action is now spend. Oh, so basically I could, instead of spending 4 to plan to gain 1 cunning, I only need to spend 3, so it makes it cheaper. And then after taking the plan, if I take the planning action in combat, you may immediately make an attack or take another action. I see. So you can always plan it in combat or defensive stance. After choosing a wounding attack, reduce the attack power by 1. Ooh. Interesting. To apply -2 to the monsters. I see, so defensive stance. You know what? I think I'm going to choose that as my next thing. And then we gain all these things. Then we spend food per the level. I already used this up, so I have to spend 2 food, and I'll gain 2 effort by doing that. And then, was the monster you defeated level 4? No, it was level 2. Advance to the next level. Fill the character ability up to the level 1, 2, and 3. And then that's the end of that. And then we discard anything else. But that is Unbroken. I think I might continue playing, but I'm going to let you guys all go. And thanks for joining me. And it was an interesting sort of experiment, doing more of a board gamey thing. And I wanted to get into the headspace of dungeon delving with this, but I found myself trying to refamiliarize with the rules. But hopefully if I do this again, I'll kind of slow down a bit and read more of the cards more thoroughly and stuff, because I like the theme of this game a lot. I don't know where you can get your hands on it, because I got this through the Kickstarter. So just look it up online, Unbroken board game, and you'll find it. Yeah, I guess that is all I have for y'all tonight. So until next time, I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.